Persistent bugger. Very well, let's have a look at you. You've seen your share of battle, there's no mistaking that. And you did manage to obtain that adamant was egg. However, that was not more than a display of brute force and blind courage. The nun I once fought also believed that his strength would save him. He was wrong, and now I am none. Many years ago, I joined the company of heroes to hone my skills, instead of challenging my predecessor before I was ready. Even when I was young, I understood that victory goes to the patient, the cunning, the pragmatic. That is why I claimed my position, and it is why I still hold it. And it is why I will not help an unproven well. The children of the sands do not offer aid to strangers. To do so is a sign of weakness. However, if you were recognized as a skilled hunter in your own right, it would be permissible to assist you. Across the desert to the east lies an Amulja encampment. There dwells a warrior renowned both for his strength and his guile. To even face this Amulja in battle, you must first find a way to lure him away from the encampment. This will be your test, to draw out and defeat the veteran. For this, I will offer you no advice, only this worn spear. What, you ask? You will have to solve that riddle yourself. Now go, slay this old warrior and bring to me his necklace. Tell me, adventurer, is our old nemesis dead? 'Tis a fine necklace, as befits a veteran of countless battles. It will make an excellent trophy. The spear? It belonged to one of his brothers. I knew when he spied it from afar, he would be unable to resist venturing outside the encampment to see for himself. Did you discern my intent, or was it dumb luck, I wonder? Heh heh heh. Either way, you impress me, adventurer. I shall tell you of the ingredient you seek. A shame we did not meet when I was still with the company of heroes. You would have made a fine recruit. But no point dwelling on what cannot be. You have a well-wick worm to hunt. Sandworms slither brazenly across the desert dunes, but well-wick worms are far fewer in number. Rarity breeds demand, and so their meat is highly prized as a delicacy. The only way to catch your quarry is to entice it with something it cannot resist. These worms prey on the smaller creatures of the Segolia. A freshly slaughtered angler carcass would be my choice of bait. There is an area teeming with anglers to the east. I will mark it upon your map, along with the location where well-wick worms are most frequently sighted. Be warned, the blood will drive the worm into a feeding frenzy. If your skills are lacking, it will devour you as well. You look well. Have you caught your quarry, then? Your skills as a hunter rival those of our best. I applaud your success, Chaddington. The meat will need to be heavily smoked before I ship it to Wisecaed. Worry not, you have my word that he will receive it in time for the banquet. You must be eager to obtain the third ingredient. I regret to say that I know not of its location. For the nonce, you should return to Costa del Sol and seek Wisecaed's counsel. Ah, but hold a moment. Since you will be meeting the captain again soon, there is something I would like you to deliver to him for me. The captain was always fond of this brandy wine. I would be grateful if you could deliver it on my behalf. I was a reckless, angry youth when I first joined the company, and he would have been well within his rights to cast me out. Everything I have I owe to his wisdom and generosity. Wisecaed was a firm yet fair teacher, an expert molder of men. And I suspect that is still the case now. Please give him my regards, Chaddington. Well met, Chaddington. Land Enel and Uagnon both spoke highly of you. What brings you here today? Ah, my favorite. I shall have to thank the nun personally. Now, you have but one ingredient left. Fortunately, you will not have to travel to Aldnard this time to obtain it. Truth be told, I never intended for you to collect this last ingredient. Brayflox, my old quartermaster, wished to bring it to Costa del Sol herself. However, not long ago, she sent word that there's been some trouble at the long stop, and that the delivery would be delayed indefinitely. She told me nothing of the incident itself, but I fear the situation may be dire. Though I would like nothing more than to aid her myself, I have no choice but to turn to you and your allies. Make haste to Hidden Falls docks and speak with Ocean Nazun. He will direct you to Raincatcher Gully, where Brayflox and her people have made their home. What's the hurry, venturer? Something happen over at the Gavi settlement? I dunno why you're so eager to help a bunch of beastmen, but go and talk to the skipper over yonder. She'll ferry ye to Raincatcher Gully. PSHHH. Shkoha, tongue flaps of Wiska et be reaching ears of Brayflox. Uplander is come for tasty fresh Gabi treats, yes. Quest prize of Uplander deep in long stop. Flighty beast chased Gabi flock from homes. Gabi flock needs goodly Uplander give safety to long stop with much hand lending. PSHHH. Shkoha, goodly Uplander has thanks of Gabi flock. Flighty beast was tricksy foe, but Uplander outwitted with plans making. Uplander has goodly head for fighty think. Brayflox happy gives tasty fresh Gabi treats to clever Uplander. Cheese is stinky sweet Gabi treat. Special make with secret Gabi ears. No party complete without Gabi Gouda, Brayflox Evrise. I gather you solved Brayflox's little problem. By the gods, that unholy stench. This is, ugh, definitely goblin cheese. Judging from the smell, this should be quite flavorful. How is it made? It's best you remain ignorant of such things. I still remember when I learned what kind of milk they use. Bravo, Chaddington. Thanks to you, our guests shall be honored with a marvelous banquet. But what good is an exotic feast without an equally exquisite apéritif? Luckily, I know just the person to ask. Make your way to Wineport and seek out Chamonix Lomani, another former member of the company. All you have to do is give him this order slip. He'll take care of the rest. Oh, and if you're wondering if this is merely a ploy to test your patience, I assure you I do actually need that wine. And while you're there, give Chamonix Lomani my regards. Sweat, grime, and blood. You reek of blood. An adventurer, unless I am mistaken. What brings you to Wineport? An order? Let me guess, a request for the finest vintage I can muster. The paper smells of loam and perfume. Costa del Sol. And there is also the unmistakable odor of goblin cheese. Yes, Master Gajiraju would not settle for anything less than the best. Durst Whites and his crew must be quite busy preparing an exotic feast, hence his decision to rely on an adventurer. But but perhaps you are confused. This display of deduction was not intended to impress you. When one loses his vision, he is forced to compensate in other ways. But you've no interest in my affairs, you wish only to discuss the wine, I suspect. Life can be so delightfully unpredictable. I always had a passion for wine, but it wasn't until I was forced to retire that I could pursue it as more than a mere hobby. It wouldn't have been possible if not for the savings I amassed during my time as a mercenary, of course. Say what you will about the nature of that work, none can deny that it pays well. Ah, but you grow impatient, and Wisecat must have his wine. Herein lies the problem, nothing in my possession is of sufficient quality for this occasion. The best vintages in town are hoarded by Berglaint, who owns and operates the largest winery in Vilbrand. Somehow, I doubt he will be receptive to your request, but given these circumstances we must needs beg his assistance. What rank amateur bottled this wine? The impurities have rendered it nigh undrinkable. Dismissal is too good for the man responsible, he should be made to drink every drop of his polluted swill. What is it? I am in the middle of an important discussion, and I do not care for interruptions. That neophyte vintner bid you speak with me? Ha! Neither you nor your friend has the palate to appreciate the subtle qualities of my private stock. I would sooner serve you good urine than sell you my worst vintage. Begone from my sight. I take it he said no, really, in those words. Well, I cannot say that I am surprised. While there's no denying his passion and skill, the wine baron of Limsalamensah is not a man known for his tact. Very well. We shall have to take an alternative approach. There is a chance, however small, that another resident of Wineport can furnish us with a suitable wine. In fact, had you come several years ago, I guarantee this would not be a problem. Alas, the quality of our product has declined significantly in recent years. The only breeds cultivated these days are common lowland vines. Which isn't to say that their grapes are of poor quality, only that we have known better. Long ago, the vignerons of Wineport crossbred several species, and produced a grape-bearing vine of never-before-seen quality. Bacchus grapes were once the pride of this town, as they were used to produce vintages which surpassed all others. This includes the most aromatic, the most complex, the most flavorful of all wines. The legendary Bacchus wines were born right here in Wineport. Ahem. Pardon my enthusiasm. You see, I once had the privilege to sample that particular wine. It was an otherworldly experience. In that moment, I felt as though I had tasted the nectar of the gods themselves. I transcended my mortal flesh, and was one with all creation. But, as is all too often said, the calamity changed that. The Bacchus vineyards were completely destroyed, along with much of the existing stock of Bacchus wine. What little remains is closely guarded by its owners, for it can no longer be made. If we cannot convince Berglaint to part with his wines, our next best option, as ridiculous as it sounds, is to find someone who has a bottle of Bacchus wine, and to offer them every gill we can spare. I've heard rumors that one of the vignerons tending the vineyards might have one's own day. Bottle, perhaps you could start by speaking with them? Bacchus wine? Bah, don't remind me, used to have a cellar filled with the stuff. Thought I could keep the wine safe from thieves and the elements. Never counted on a bloody primal blowing up my goddamned house. What? Do I have Bacchus wine? I wish. I never had the chance to try it myself. Sorry, friend, but you're a few years too late. No luck. Most regrettable, but we had to try. But Bacchus wine would have been perfect for the occasion. Though, I must confess, my certitude could be due in part to my personal history with the beverage. It is, after all, the very reason I decided to become a vintner. After Titan blinded me in our battle beneath Ogomora, I fell into a deep depression. It wasn't until I tasted Bacchus wine for the first time that I realized there was still so much I could experience, even in my condition. It helped me to find a new direction in life. It breaks my heart to think that wondrous ambrosia which once filled me with hope may be forever lost to us. I must say, this talk of Bacchus wine has made me rather nostalgic. Indeed, there is much I miss about my life with the company of heroes. After everything the captain has done for me, I could not bear to disappoint him. Have no fear. I swear that I shall find a suitable wine for the banquet, though I may need some time to think of a solution. In the meantime, there is a favor I would ask of you. 2 years ago, in the deepest depths of my despair, I stumbled across Vilbrand as a vagabond drunk. I suspect I was looking for a place to die, because I very nearly found one not far from here. It was there that a man named Dreas took me in and nursed me back to health. And it was he who gave me my first taste of Bacchus wine, which helped me to find my new calling. Though I am still a novice in the arts of winemaking, I would like him to know that I am pursuing my dream. This wine is my own original creation, and I would be most grateful if you delivered it to him in my stead. Dreas sometimes works at the Raincatcher Gully docks, so perhaps Ritskald can tell you where to find him. Dreas. Oh, you mean the hermit. I toss him a few gil when we need an extra pair of hands. He doesn't talk about himself, and I sure as hells don't ask. When a man's got a face with scars like that, you best leave well enough alone, I say. If you've a mind to find him, though, then head southwest to the Severed String. What do you want? Wine. I didn't ask for this, who sent you? I can't sleep. They won't let me sleep, the midges. The buzzing, it keeps me awake. I'm not. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I won't fight. I don't want to fight. Please, make the buzzing stop. Make the midges go away. It's not so loud anymore. Did you do that? Thank you. You helped me. Even after what my comrades and I did to your country. We were on a reconnaissance mission when the maelstrom caught us by surprise. We tried to escape, but the others. No one else survived. I didn't ask for this, damn it. I'm not even Garlean. They conquered my lands just like they tried to conquer yours. I don't want to die in some blasted jungle halfway around the world. I just want to go home. I wish to thank Chamonix for the wine. That was overly kind. Would you be willing to bear a gift back to him? Earlier today at Red Mantis Falls, I collected the sap from nearby palm trees. If placed in coconut shells and stored for a few bells' time, it makes for a fine wine, see. It should be ready by now. I left 3 shells out there. Please, take them to Chamonix for me. I'm glad he's moved on with his life. I hope to one day do the same. It has been some time, Chaddington. What news do you have of Dreas? Yes, I recall he did have some knowledge of winemaking. A simplistic but nevertheless effective method that utilizes the natural properties of palm sap. I shall have to enjoy this batch before it spoils. We are not so different, Dreas and I. 2 men who have long struggled not to let our scars define us. I worry that he has been alone with his thoughts for far too long. It is past time I paid him a visit. Thank you for looking after him, Chaddington. By the gods. Chaddington, listen. I know you're eager to wash your hands of this wine business, but I've just discovered something extraordinary about Dreas' palm wine. He sealed each coconut shell with a leaf which has a very distinct shape and unusual odor. I thought I was going mad at first, but now I'm certain, these are the leaves of a Bacchus grapevine. Do you know what this means? Somewhere in Raincatcher Gully, the legendary vine still grows. If we could obtain a cutting, we could revive the Bacchus wine industry. We must know where Dreist found these leaves. Here, take one of them back to him and see what he remembers. Oh, hello again. What is it? It's just a leaf, isn't it? I only chose it because it was pretty. Didn't know it was rare. I found them near the Juggernaut to the south. But, I didn't see any grapevines. I saw fresh kubo tracks, though. Maybe the leaves came from vines growing on the back of one such beast? If you go looking for it, please be careful. Some kubos are more territorial than others, and you may have to defend yourself. What did Dreist have to say, Chaddington? Tell me everything. Ahaha, I was right. This smell, this texture. I hold in my hands a Bacchus grapevine cutting. Come now, enough of this nonsense. I've heard talk of your discovery, and I refuse to believe that a common adventurer and a novice vintner could. 12 as my witness, it is a Bacchus grapevine. Wherever did you find this fantastic specimen? What? You would offer this to me? But why? There is none better positioned to reconstruct the Bacchus vineyards than you, Master Berglaint. You have the resources, the knowledge, and the passion to do so. It would be selfish of me to keep this cutting. I never knew you cared so deeply about your craft. Thank you, good sir. I will not squander this gift. In just a few years' time, I swear that every tavern across Eorzea will once again be clamoring for a cask of Wineport's legendary Bacchus wine. Sir, you needn't wait. The shape of this bottle, the scent of this label. This couldn't possibly be a 1547 Bacchus? But that's impossible. This vintage has not been seen since years before the calamity. It was the crown jewel of my personal collection. For years, I debated opening it, wondering if today or tomorrow would be the ideal time. But now I realize that it was never meant for me, it should be savored by the saviors of Wineport, I say. He has made us an offer we cannot refuse. Master Gageraju will find no finer wine. You have forever changed Wineport, Chaddington. Thank you for your kindness and your generosity. But do not permit me to delay you any longer. Pray deliver the wine to Captain Weiskaen. Well, yes, I would very much like to drink it. But I am a patient man. I have faith that one day I shall have another opportunity to taste perfection. Your prolonged absence was beginning to concern me. So, what of the wine I asked you to bring? Is that 7 hells, a 1547 Bacchus? Even I know how rare that is. I have to admit, I didn't think you had it in you. But congratulations, Chaddington. Thanks to you, this will be the most luxurious feast Costa del Sol has seen in years. Considering the lengths you went to, I hope our guests appreciate it. Speaking of which, your associate arrived a short while ago. She appears to be growing somewhat impatient. Perhaps you could tell her that the banquet is about to begin?
You have the look of a man who has been to the seventh hell and back. That a guest should be expected to supply the victuals for a banquet held in his own honor. And this while the shadow of Titan looms over us all. It beggars belief. I can only applaud your stoicism. Had I been asked to endure such ignominy, I fear I should have accepted my lot with less grace.
Lady Wishtala. Sir Sprouteroo. A thousand pardons for this extreme discourtesy. I was wholly unaware of your true identity, sir. Had I known, I would never have permitted my man to subject you to such unspeakable ordeals. Come now, he must have sensed something was amiss. You didn't seriously think I would send you running the length and breadth of Eorzea for a banquet, did you?
Spare him your mockery, Captain. Your intent was unclear to me until this moment. And unlike me, Chaddington has no knowledge of your traditions. Mayhap you would be so good as to enlighten him.
Fair's fair. There's no sense hiding it any longer. We five were chosen by our brothers and sisters, and before the company of heroes disbanded, we each swore a solemn oath that any who would follow in our footsteps must be weighed and measured, not by their reputation, but by their deeds. Each man would judge these would-be God-slayers by his own criteria. If even one found him wanting, he would be rejected without a second thought. But if he proved himself worthy, we swore that we would do our utmost to support his cause. The world has ever been full of brave souls eager to give their lives for a righteous cause, but all too few capable of making a difference with their sacrifice. To send wave after wave of hapless adventurers into the jaws of a foe against whom they have no hope of victory is worse than futile. Titan is not one to be challenged lightly, and we will not be complicit in the deaths of the unworthy.
Which is why the five of you deigned to test Chaddington with such commendable thoroughness. Time well spent, I am sure. But tell us, Captain, what is the assessment of you and your fellows?
He's a brave one, that much is certain. He willingly walked into the midst of danger, despite my repeated warnings that it could cost him his life. His skill is undeniable. He stalked his prey as relentlessly as any child of the sands, and struck with precision when an opportunity presented itself. Too many adventurers these days care only for fortune and glory. Chaddington, however, is a kind and generous soul. I am certain he has no shortage of loyal allies who will gladly fight at his side. PSHHH. Shkoha. Wily Uplander is talentful plansmaker. Tricksy foe for mighty Rockman. I can only concur with my colleagues' assessments. We five of the company of heroes hereby judge you a worthy challenger. Cast down the Lord of Crags, Chaddington Sprouteroo, and write a new chapter in the history of Eorzea. With the formalities out of the way, let the festivities begin. Summon the dancers, pour the wine. Eat, drink, and be merry, my friends, for today we celebrate the birth of a new legend, Chaddington Sprouteroo, Titan's Bane. Chaddington Sprouteroo, Titan's Bane.
Congratulations, sweetling. Now relax and enjoy the show, it's only just begun.
Tasting the exotic feast triggers a divine revelation. In that brief, transcendent moment, you glimpse the true form of reality, comprehend its fleeting nature, and cry out to the heavens in celebration. When you face the Lord of Crags, think not of Lim Salaman Sa'di or Zia, or anything beyond his chamber. Think only of the men and women by your side. Fight for them, and they will fight for you. Remember that no great victory was ever achieved alone. PSHHH. Shkoha, goodly uplander must be facing mighty rockmen with clever fighty think. Gavi flock cannot be coming to rescue this time. Ah, Chaddington, you brave fool. Promise me that when you meet Titan, you'll look him in the eye and tell him Land Enel sends his regards. You are a veteran of countless battles, Chaddington. This is but one more. Trust in your experience, and you will prevail. You are blessed with the fortitude to rival the earth itself. Titan will struggle to break you, I think.
You are kind to indulge them, Chaddington. This banquet is as much for the company as it is for you, whatever they may claim. I do not deny that they mean well, but now is scarcely the time for celebration. Though they have all but pronounced you the victor, the battle with Titan has yet to begin. The hour has come for the good captain to make good on his promise. We must speak with him again.
You must be eager to face Titan. As promised, we will show you the way. Travel to Bronze Lake in Upper Lanasi. There you will meet with Ryal, another man who once served with the company. To ensure that this knowledge does not fall into the wrong hands, he will remain in hiding until you have given the correct signal. Give me your map. You must whistle loudly at the 3 locations I mark. Only then will he appear to meet you at this 4th location. I realize this may seem excessive now, but you will see that it is more than reasonable once you comprehend the risks inherent in our method. Greetings, mate. Might you be the one the captain said would come Khalid? I thought so. Pay attention, now, cause I ain't explainin' meself twice. Years ago, when we was weighing up how to get to Titan, one of our scouts stumbled across this beastman at the reed. See? What's that look for? Not familiar with him.
He speaks of an unamplified etherite which has been claimed by a beast tribe. Lest you wonder, there is no fundamental difference between such etherites and those which you have used on countless occasions, Chaddington.
Ah, well if it ain't the Charlayan lass. Welcome back.
Forgive me for interrupting. I had planned to await your report, but I succumbed to curiosity. The tunnels beneath Ogomora form a bewildering labyrinth that no outsider has ever fully explored. How the company of heroes managed to navigate it is a mystery I have long pondered.
Ha! Give us a bit of credit, love. We weren't daft enough to try going in the front. The kobolds are always digging new tunnels and filling the old ones with traps. One wrong step, and the next thing you know, you've got 100 tons of rock on your noggin. Suicide to even try, see. Funny thing was, the kobolds didn't seem to have no trouble finding their way round, and it was that as got us thinking. I mean, Ugamaro mines are like a bleedin' city, ain't they? And getting around in a city that big would be a right pain in the arse if you didn't have an Ethernet, wouldn't it? So it stood to reason that the kobolds must have one, didn't it?
Even if there were etherite shards in the depths of Ogomora, you would have needed to attune yourselves to them before you could identify their signatures within the life stream.
Ah, well, that's where you're wrong, love. We had this Charlayan bloke to help us, see. Delivered us right into Titan's bedchamber, he did. I don't rightly know how he did it, but I do remember him sayin' it weren't nothin' any Charlayan scholar worth her salt couldn't manage.
Did he now? Locating a beacon in the absence of a known signature might be possible if the Aetherites in question happened to be. Yes. But in order to guide a traveler to said beacon safely, a second party would be required to. It is possible, in theory at least. Yet I cannot be certain until I try. Plainly, all will depend upon whether or not I am worth my salt.
Oh, you are, lass. Don't you worry about that. Have a bit o' faith in yourself. Why don't we all go to Zelma's Run and take a closer look at the Aetherite? It ain't far, though there's sure to be a few kobolds blocking the way. Naught ya can't handle, mind.
So this is the Aetherite the company of heroes used to gain access to Titan's sanctuary. It is as Papalimos speculated. In its present state, this Aetherite's signal will not be strong enough for our purposes. I may, however, be able to use my own energies to amplify it. Alas, the task will monopolize my attention for the duration. It seems you will have to proceed without me, Chattington. I must needs remain here and supplement this beacon's power, lest you be denied your only path of escape. Fear not, I will summon the Maelstrom forces stationed nearby to protect us. With effort, it is possible that I may be able to stabilize the Aetherite's signal and thereby join you, albeit belatedly. Until such time as I do, you will be on your own. Now, let us see if I am worth my salt. I have located another beacon, one far below the mountain. I can only speculate as to what you will find there, so stint not in your preparation.
Look, an overdweller. Yes, an invader from above. He uses our Aetherites against us. He has defiled Titan's sacred sanctuary, trespassed, violated, defiled. Overdwellers must leave. Overdwellers must fly. Brothers and sisters, fear him not. His fate shall be decided by the Lord of Crags. Hear me, Overdweller. You and your treacherous brethren must be held to account for the breaking of the covenant. You shall be first to face judgment. Then Limsalamansa and her oath breakers, liars, betrayers, oath breakers. O great Father, Lord of Crags. Titan, we summon you. Titan, we summon you, O great Father, Lord of Crags. Titan, we summon you. Titan, we summon you. He is come. He is come. The Lord of Crags, Titan is come. Overdweller, art thou deaf to their weeping? Thy vile kind coveteth ever the blessing of the land and murdereth my children by the score, all in service to greed. Such sins are beyond pardon. Ah, but I am not the first to suffer thy defiance. Thou didst bring Ifrit low. Godless overdweller. Thy myriad heresies shall not go unpunished. Upon thee shall I wreak a terrible vengeance. The Lord of Crags, Great Father Titan has fallen. The crimes of the Overdwellers shall never be forgiven. Never be forgotten. No, no, never. 'Twas your kin who broke the covenant. We have acted only in defense of our lands. Cease your aggression, or never will there be peace. Until our dying breaths, we shall defy you, deny, decry, defy. Now these are the readings one would expect of an icon. I have seen enough. We proceed as planned. Are you sure that is wise, my lord? Your curiosity is untested and unproven. We do not yet know its true capabilities. Then trust in mine, write it in. My curiosity, as you so eloquently put it, would have bested Titan in the blink of an eye. Why, if there be truth to the legends, it could readily subjugate the whole of Eorzea given but a little while longer. Is that not so? It is. No greater single power has ever been conceived, much less realized. What you say may well be true. But while such devices may win battles, I do not believe they will serve to change the course of this war. Oh, but they will. Have a little faith, my friend. I cannot endorse this course of action. Fool. And now he has a fourth. Fascinating. Carry on, Crystal Bearer. Far though you have come, your work is far from done.
And not remain to mark his passing. Well, the Asians are nothing if not elusive. It is of little wonder that they should cast advanced teleportation magics at will. But that they would choose to consort with the Empire. What common goal could they possibly share? I feared I might arrive too late, but I see you had the matter well in hand. I have taken measures to ensure that we are not pursued, yet I cannot say how long they will hold. Take your leave while the kobolds are still in disarray. I will follow anon. There is something I must investigate before I depart. I will teleport you to the Etherite in Zelma's Run, and we will rendezvous at Camp Bronze Lake. Agreed? I am relieved to see you well. But come, let us discuss our next step. Though word will already have reached Maelstrom Command, protocol requires that a representative of our order inform the High Commander of the mission's success. The honor is rightfully yours, Chaddington. Once again, I must commend you on a job well done. We shall speak again soon. It is good to see you, Sergeant Sprouteroo. Word of your triumph reached me some while ago, but I am pleased to have it personally confirmed. First Ifrit and now Titan. Truly, when I think of your achievements, I feel the loss of the warriors of light less keenly, and there can be no greater compliment than that. You and your order are heroes. Suffice it to say, we are glad to have a scion in our ranks. I shall relay the details of your report to the Admiral forthwith. Please send my regards to the scions of the 7th Dawn. Until next time, Sergeant. Chaddington, this is Minfilia. Wishtala has informed me of your success. You have won a great victory for the people of Eorzea, one that shall not be forgotten. And what is more, both you and Wishtala emerged from Ogomora unscathed. Why, Tataru and the others seemed as glad of that as they did of Titan's fall. You can look forward to a hero's welcome. We'll be awaiting your return at the Waking Sands. There is much to discuss. Godspeed.
This one is glad, walking one is safe.
We'll be awaiting your return at the Waking Sands. There is much to discuss. Godspeed. Thank heavens he is safe. Louisoire, do you see? Your light shines brightly in this one, and in time it will illuminate the realm once more. Oh!
Advance no further!
We have come for the one who slayed Ifrit and Titan. Bring him forth, or you shall know no mercy.
Confound it! Stay out of sight. I would leave a message with you. I surrender myself, on the condition you spare the innocents.
Conditions? There speaks the Supreme Scion. I'll grant you have courage, but you would be better served by armor.
Search all you will. The one you seek is not here.
So it would seem.
And yet you knew to look here. But how?
Hold that thought.
No!
Conditions of surrender denied.
Cease at once!
Have you not done enough?
Perhaps. Enough. We must away. Though we have not found our quarry, The High Priestess of the Scions should suffice for now. They say she also possesses the Echo. I cannot wait to hear her scream. I said enough! We leave! Bring the prisoners.
Walking one Minfilia, ask this one too. In case walking one returned, this one was to say. At church in Eastern then Alan, walking one must claim sanctuary. This one tried to protect walking one Minfilia from Imperial ones. 4. Give, this, one. Save. Is something troubling you, my son? You have the look of one who has endured great suffering. If there is anything I can do to help, anything at all, you need only ask. The wild roses. I see. You may speak freely here. We are all friends of the Scions. How could this have happened? And you are certain that Minfilia was among those taken by the Garleans? Let us pray no further harm comes to them. You may stay here for as long as you wish. It is the least I can do for a friend of Minfilia's. I have known her since she was but a child. Well do I recall the day of our first meeting. I swore then to do everything in my power to support her, and I will gladly offer the self-same service to her brother and sister Scions. So please, no matter what you require, you need not hesitate to ask. Marcus, would you come here for a moment? Yes, Father. If you require assistance, pray speak with Marcus. He is a trifle shy, but I assure you he means well. I should explain, Marcus is a survivor of the Battle of Cartino. Alas, his experiences took a terrible toll upon his mind. Had we not taken him into our care, he would surely have perished in the desert. Marcus, I want you to look after Chaddington. Do you understand? Yes, Father. Excuse me, Chaddington, do you have a moment? It concerns this broken horologe which was found in the pocket of a man brought here for burial. There is something familiar about it, but just what I cannot say. Perhaps if I tinker with the device, it will come to me. However, I lack the proper tools to do so. I would ask that you journey to Camp Drybone in my stead to obtain a bull-point chisel and a pair of needle-nose pincers. They are often used by goldsmiths, so perhaps they would be the best people to ask. Of course, I do not expect you to foot the bill. Here, take this coin purse. That should cover it. A bull-point chisel, you say? And a pair of needle-nose pincers? Those things don't come cheap, you know. Thous balls. I mean, yes, That should be sufficient payment. Nice doing business with you. Heh. Have you brought the tools I requested? Something occurs to me. Please wait here for a moment. It was for naught. Though I repaired the device easily, this sensation that stirs within me remains a mystery. But how did I do it? These hands, my hands, they moved with a mind of their own, deftly manipulating the clockwork mechanisms. There was no doubt or uncertainty. I knew exactly what to do, as though I had performed the same motions countless times before. Pardon me, Chaddington, this was a mistake. Please give the horologe to Sister Elund. The man who once owned it is currently in her care, and I think it best that it be returned to him.
Good morrow to you, sir. Have you come to pay your respects to this man? Never before have I seen such a queer device. You say that it measures the passing of time? Mayhap they are more common in Garlemald. I am given to understand that its cities are filled with all manner of amazing technologies. Mark said that it belonged to the deceased? Oh dear. You don't suppose that the owner might have been a Garlean spy? It may behoove us to notify the authorities in Camp Drubone. But, mayhap more importantly, how did Mark manage to repair this device? I knew he had a talent for the trades, but this goes far beyond mending fences and thatching roofs. I recognize you now, Chaddington. Allow me to express my deepest condolences for those who lost their lives in the attack. I apologize if discussing this upsets you, but you should know that the bodies of your comrades are presently being removed from the waking sands and prepared for transport here. If you wish to leave this work to others, I understand. However, taking part might help you to find closure.
Ya don't look like one of them church fellas. Not that I'll turn ya away, no sir. As ya can see, we've got a pile of unidentified bodies over yonder. No one's come to claim 'em, so off to the lich yard they go. Be thankful ya didn't have to go inside and see the carnage for yourself. 'Twas the stuff of nightmares, I tell ya. God's damned Imperials. I don't know what quarrel they had with these folks, and I sure as hells don't want to know. The sooner we put this behind us, the better. Say, ain't I seen you round here afore? Or do ya just have one of them faces? Ah, never mind. Anyroad, there's a carriage come to haul the bodies to the lich yard, out by the east gate. There's only 8 left to load up, but seein' as I'm exhausted from carrying all the others, I've a mind to leave the remainder to you. Might want to cover your nose while ya work. Some of these folk restartin' to turn. What happened to the big fella? Ah, forget it. Just bring the next batch and toss 'em in the back, ain't like they'll complain if you're rough. Well, ain't you a strong one? 4 in 1 trip. Reckon there's no need for me to lend you a hand with the rest, then. Come on, come on. Let's finish this before I die of old age. That should be all of 'em. Thanks for the help. Reckon it won't take too long to deliver all the corpses to the lich yard. Even so, you might want to hurry back and tell 'em that our work here is done.
I see that you decided to heed my advice. I pray that, in doing so, you found some small measure of peace. The first carriage from Vesper Bay arrived not long ago, and we have begun preparing your comrades for burial. I had a hand in the initial rites, and I would like you to know that, for many, death came quickly. Rest assured that we will treat them with the utmost respect. and do everything we can to shepherd them to Thal's realm. Although we can perform rites for most of the scions, there is one whom we cannot accept. We would like you to return this one to her people, the Sylphs of Little Solace. It is only proper that she be given into the care of her friends and family, so that they may mourn her in accordance with Sylphic traditions.
This one is surprised to see Walking One in Little Solace. How can these ones assist Walking One? Naraxia. But, this one does not understand. Komuksho, this one has heard much wailing. This one would know what has caused such distress. Terrible news, Elder One. Awful news. Walking One has returned to Little Solace. But what? These ones have not requested further aid. Naraxia. How did this happen? Explain everything to this one, at once. So, not only Naraxia, but many of Walking One's friends were lost as well. Naraxia. Naraxia went to then Alan at the behest of this one. Walking One was with Naraxia at the end. Tell this one that Naraxia was brave. Tell this one that Naraxia did not suffer. This one is glad to hear Walking One's words. Thank you for bringing Naraxia home, Walking One. These ones also wish to thank Praying Ones. Tell Praying Ones these ones will remember this kindness. This one demands vengeance. Imperial ones must pay. Imperial ones must suffer. When the time comes for Walking Ones to face Imperial ones, do not forget these ones. These ones would not have Naraxia's death be for naught. These ones will fight.
We thank you for your service to the Church and to the Sylphs. You may be pleased to know that, in your absence, we interred the remaining scions in the Lich Yard. Perhaps you still wish to do more for your friends. If so, I would remind you that you have already done so much on their behalf. Please, take a rest and set aside your burdens for now, Chaddington.
I'm not imagining it, Chaddington. I know I'm being watched. This is different, sinister. It is as if I am, under observation. The feeling comes and goes, but I felt it when last I ventured outside. Yes. I know I felt it. Will you look outside for me, please? It will only take a moment. You were attacked, weren't you? Are you unharmed? Thank the gods. I knew it. He was watching me. But why was he watching me? What did he want with me? Did he, perhaps, know something of my past? If only I could have asked him. I need to think. Please, allow me a moment alone. Wait. Father Iliad must hear of this. Will you tell him for me? It's important. I think others may come for me again. Heavens forfend. That such a thing should happen on holy ground. Do you have any idea who this man was? Did you notice anything distinctive about his garb or possessions? This is Garlean steel. Which means the man who was watching Marcus was. Make haste to Camp Drybone at once. We must summon the immortal flames before more Imperials come.
I fondly hoped that I might be the first to speak with you. Would that I had been so fortunate. At ease, adventurer. I come not on behalf of the Empire. On the contrary, I mean to revive the scions of the Seventh Dawn. And to that end, I have come in search of a legend. The greatest engineer of our time, Master Sid Garland. I have come for you.
I fear you are mistaken, child. He is but a poor soul who bore witness to the horrors at Cartano. I beg of you, leave us in peace.
Wait, Hear me, Cid. Eorzea needs you.
Cid, was it? Here. These belong to you. I thought you bore the mark of greatness. It seems that I was right. Our time together was all too brief, but it felt as though my son had returned to me. You have brought joy to an old man's life. But it is time for you to help those who truly need you.
Who are you?
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service. As a scion of the Seventh Dawn, I stand against our primal and imperial foes, as my grandfather once did. 'Tis no secret what befell our order at the Waking Sands. Word has already spread across Eorzea. The repercussions are far greater than you realize. In the wake of the calamity, the three city-states focused their efforts solely on reconstruction, leaving the scions to combat the primal threat unaided. And lo, we are all but destroyed. Yet even as the nations mourn our demise and abandon what little hope they have left, we cannot forsake our duty, now least of all. The Ixal have summoned Garuda once more, and she torments the people of Kurthus as we speak. Her appetite for destruction far exceeds that of other primals. Worse, in her present incarnation, our Baldessian colleagues believe she surpasses both Ifrit and Titan in strength. Yet, therein lies an opportunity. Were we somehow to defeat Garuda, it would serve as a warning to the other beast tribes that even their mightiest gods can be felled. If we are to face our foe, we must first circumvent the tempest that shields her sanctuary. And for that, we need an airship. Your airship, Cid.
I have an airship?
Yes, Cid, you do. Your very own airship. It was last seen in the skies over Gridania, not long before the calamity, so let us begin our search there.
An airship? My airship? Oh, wait.
Come, let us put an end to the primals. Together, we will show the world that the Scions are still a force to be reckoned with.
They need my airship. They need me.
What a curious twist of fate that Master Sid Garland would at last be found within our church. It defies imagination. Beg your pardon, Chaddington. You wish to find his airship, yes. I know not how much truth there is to it, but there is a tale known as, the final flight of the Enterprise, which grew popular in the wake of the calamity, much like the Great Gubba Wall of Ulda. It states that the Enterprise flew northwest from Gridania towards Ko'Rthats. If true, the airship would have passed through the North Shroud, likely over Falgord Float, the closest settlement to Ko'Rthats. Mayhap the Serpents stationed there have records of the events that transpired that day. I had hoped you might rest from your journeys for a time, but I see that the world still has need of you and the science. Pray look after yourself and Sid, Chaddington. Is there aught I can assist you with, sir? The Enterprise. You speak of Master Garland's ship, yes. I needn't refer to the records. I know that the airship was sighted overhead 5 years ago, clearly bound for Ko'Rthats. What became of it after that I cannot say. If you wish to know more, pray speak with Vortifort at Florentel's Spire. He was on duty that day and saw it with his own eyes. I am unsure what it is you hope to accomplish, though. Even should you locate the ship, would you not need a man of Master Garland's caliber to fly it? I hear tell that the machinery is fiendishly complex. You have come in search of Vortifort? Then well met, for you have found him. Indeed, I have served as a whaler for many years, since before the Great Snows came to Ko'Rthats. What exactly is this about? Ah, the final flight of the Enterprise. I do indeed remember that day. 'Twas on the eve of the Battle of Cartino, nigh on 5 years ago. I held the spire alone that night, while the bulk of our forces marched to meet the enemy in the field. Then, all of a sudden, the most fantastic airship I'd ever seen splits the sky overhead. I could only watch in shock as it disappeared over the mountains to the northwest. If the Enterprise wasn't destroyed during the calamity, I'd wager it's still somewhere in Ko'Rthats. The astrologians at the observatorium may have records which could help. But to obtain them, you would need to deal with the Ishgardians who control the region. I wouldn't expect much, though. The high houses have long been concerned with their own affairs above all else. When Dalamud descended, they took shelter behind their gates, and even now they have little regard for the plights of other nations. Nevertheless, they may deign to assist you should you prove yourself useful. Consider providing your services to the soldiers who guard the observatorium. Though they may refuse you at first, I've little doubt they would accept aid freely offered. Excuse me, can you repeat that? You wish to offer your services to House Durandare? And what, pray tell, do you wish to receive in exchange? Ha, how absurd. As if we would permit an outsider to peruse the records of the observatorium. Do not mistake our courtesy for friendliness. The Holy See of Ishgard may allow foreigners to travel freely within these lands, but we do not intend to offer succor to strangers. Halone have mercy, are you still here? You may take shelter within our walls if you insist, but do not distract me while I am on duty. We're stretched thin as it is. And where in the hells is that knight I sent out on patrol? He should have returned ages ago. Perhaps I have a use for you, after all. If you still wish to aid us, search the wilds to the west for my missing man. You will know him by his uniform, that of House Durandare, as is mine. If it wasn't for you, sir, I reckon they would have finished me off. Despicable dragon-loving bastards. Death was a mercy they didn't deserve. I prayed the rumors were mistaken, but this confirms the worst. I must immediately inform my superiors that the heretics are operating within this region. Fare thee well, friend. I must say, I didn't actually expect you to find my knight, much less rescue him. I see I may have been premature in my judgment, sir. We are a proud people, beholden to tradition, but that does not mean we are without humility. I shall instruct the astrologians to entertain your request. However, understand that it is ultimately their decision whether or not you may peruse their records. Pray proceed to the observatorium and introduce yourself to Edmel.
Ah, the gentlemen come in search of the airship. This is highly unorthodox. Whatever could Sir Ludovoy be thinking? It is true that we maintain meticulous records which stretch back generations. However, because this information is used to chart Dravanian activity, access is strictly controlled. One can never be too careful with heretics and their sympathizers lurking about. If you would persist with your inquiries, pray seek an audience with Chief Astrologian Furlemert up above.
No. Absolutely not. Have you any inkling what it is you ask? Were our records to fall into the wrong hands, it could change the course of a war which has raged for generations. I speak not of some mere spat between southern nations. Ours is a holy crusade, and we are the arbiters of Hallone's will. I will not put our great nation at risk, certainly not to help a foreigner locate a missing airship, of all things. Pardon the intrusion, Furlemert. I wished to speak with you regarding the recent, oh, I did not realize you had a guest. Inquisitor Guillaume. You honor us with your presence, sir. The gentleman was just leaving. Ah, you must be the one who rescued House Durandair's knight from those heretics. Doubtless they feel indebted to you. I am told you seek an airship last seen in Coeur. That's 5 years ago, yes. You come to us at an inconvenient time, I fear. Much has changed in the intervening years, and little for the better. While I wish you the best of luck in your search, I would also strongly advise caution. The snows can come quickly in Coeur. That's. One moment you may feel as though you have a firm grasp on your surroundings, safe and secure in your knowledge, and the next you may find yourself in a wholly unfamiliar situation, blind to the dangers hidden by the blizzard. It would be wise for you to focus on a single landmark whilst traveling. Do not give in to temptation and deviate from your course. I was not aware you aided House Durandair in that fashion. Thank you, sir. Nevertheless, my decision stands. I cannot give you what you seek.
You there, sir? I could not help but overhear your conversation with the Chief Astrologian. There may be a way I can assist you, but it would require that you perform for me a favor in exchange. An associate of mine has yet to return from his expedition to the cliffs east of the observatorium. He was adamant that he could conduct his observations alone, despite the presence of Ixal in that vicinity. If you would seek out this astrologian and confirm that he is well, it would be a great.
What a relief to see someone other than a goddamned birdman. I thought I could finish my work whilst the Ixal were away, but they returned far quicker than I anticipated. It was all I could do to hide and hope they might leave again before I froze to. Wait, who are you? You are not one of our knights? A man of House Durandair cannot be seen in the company of an unbeliever. Good day, sir.
The arrogant fool returned not long before you arrived, muttering about the disgrace of having been rescued by an unbeliever. Serves him right for underestimating the dangers our knights face every day. Ah, but you are eager to locate your airship. It may surprise you that by saving him, you have already aided your own cause. House Durandair is quick to regard outsiders with suspicion, as it is their duty to sound the alarm at the first sign of Dravanian aggression. Yet you have already aided them twice, for which they are honor-bound to repay you. Even so, they will not grant you access to the observatorium's records. That is just as well, for there are other ways you might locate your missing airship. What I propose is that you petition Lord Port Elaine for an official introduction to the other high houses. The word of House Durandare carries tremendous weight in Ishgard. Should the captain consent, you would have little trouble obtaining information from the other high houses.
You've caused quite a stir in your short time here. First you slay 2 heretics and save a knight, and now I hear you have rescued a man of our house. I imagine you must desire something for your troubles. An introduction to the other high houses? I cannot deny that you have given us no cause to distrust you. But while you have performed 2 acts, you would have me endorse you to 3 high houses. It is only fitting that you aid us one final time, wouldn't you agree? Now, I understand you are very eager to find your missing airship. Worry not, for this task should take a man of your skills but a moment to complete. Not long ago, a porter bound for Skyfire Locks was ambushed on the road due west of here. Though he escaped with his life, he would very much like his wares as well. On the off chance any portion of his shipment remains, I would have you travel to the scene of the robbery and bring back what you find. Lest you intend to perform only a cursory search, bear in mind that recovering the stolen merchandise will endear you to House Halenard, further improving the chances that they indulge your request for aid. Have you good tidings to share? Or better yet, stolen merchandise to show? God's bless yet, friend. It's all here, every last, but wait. That chest over there looks like it might have been pillaged. Bloody hells, that's the personal property of Lord Francel, too. Are you certain? Clearly an attempt was made to open it, but the lock appears to have held. Nevertheless, if you wish to verify the contents against your shipping manifest, be my guest. Fury take me, a draconian rosary. In the possession of Lord Francel? Yet, perhaps this is not so difficult to fathom. House Halenart is whispered to be infested with heretics. Thank you for bringing this matter to my attention, sir. I shall inform the Inquisitors immediately. Under these circumstances, I must strongly advise against associating with House Halenard. Your other introductions will need to be postponed, as well. It is the duty of every Ishgardian to root out and destroy heretics, all else must wait until this matter is resolved. Come closer, lad, and listen well. This is for your ears only. Lord Francel is no heretic. He is a goodly, righteous man, wholly dedicated to the cause. I know this because I served House Halenart for years prior to the calamity. You must go to Skyfire Locks and warn him of the coming storm. The Inquisitors are ruthless and will spare him no mercy. Speak to him of an Edelweiss, and he will know you for a friend. Now, go. Yes. You look as though you have something to say. Do you? I see Sir Carrie-Lot has not forgotten my mother's favorite flower. A pity it has not been seen in Coervat since the calamity. You may speak freely here, friend. That's absurd. I would sooner die than become a thrall of the dragons. Alas, it matters little what I say at this point. Although the Draconian Rosary was not found in my possession, it will still be considered by many to be proof of my heresy. I must do my utmost to prove my innocence to the Inquisitors, for if they harbor even the slightest doubt, this will only add weight to the incessant accusations our house has suffered of late. It's as though the gods themselves are plotting our fall. You risk much by coming here. It is only proper that I recompense you for this deed. Tell me what you desire, and I shall do my best to provide. A missing airship? I see. it may require a prolonged effort to locate your quarry. I shall direct you to one in a better position to assist you. Lord Orchiphant of House Fordumps commands the garrison at Camp Dragonhead. Present to him this letter of introduction, and he will surely be receptive to your needs. Ah, the unmistakable swagger of a well-traveled adventurer. If you are come to pay your respects, be at ease, friend. I am not one to stand on formality. Truth be told, I would gladly welcome many and more brave souls like yourself. But enough chatter, pray tell me why you have come. If there is any justice in this world, these charges will receive no serious consideration. It is beyond inconceivable. Ah, yes. The letter made mention of a pressing matter for which you required assistance. What might that be? So this enterprise you speak of was last seen above Coerthats before the calamity 5 years ago. I fear it may prove difficult to find any eyewitnesses to these events, for while Ishgard did not participate in the Battle of Cartino, we were embroiled in our own internal conflicts at the time. Nevertheless, I will make inquiries on your behalf and share with you my findings in the future. In the meantime, please enjoy the hospitality of Camp Dragonhead. I will see that you are afforded every courtesy as a guest of House Fordumps. As you have doubtless realized by now, the high houses of Ishgard, House Fordumps included, are either unable or unwilling to offer you formal assistance in your search. However, that does not mean that there are not influential individuals within each house who are sympathetic to your cause. I shall be sending missives to their various representatives in Ishgard, though I suspect it would be quicker and more efficient if you were make inquiries of your own. Lady Nin of mine own House Fordumps, who resides here in Camp Dragonhead, rather enjoys the company of travelers. There is also Cravelin of House Halenard, who can be found at Skyfire Locks, though any information you pry from the scribe may prove difficult to parse. Have you spoken with the chief astrologian of House Durandare yet? Really? Perhaps he will be more accommodating once I inform him that you are a friend of House Fordumps. Do not concern yourself with House Jamail, I shall contact them myself. Seek the counsel of the three I mentioned, and return to me when finished.
Why, hello, good sir. What's that? An airship, you say? I hate to disappoint you, but I know nothing of what you seek. Likely no one of House Fordumps does, for if they did, I would definitely know as well. The topic on everyone's lips these days is what will become of young Lord Francel. Some say the allegations are long overdue, given how many members of House Halenard have been found guilty of heresy in recent days.
Halone, grant me strength. There must be some way to. Oh, who are you? A friend of Lord Orchiphant? I want to help you, I truly do. But these accusations of heresy have thrown House Halenard into chaos. Right now, we must focus on combating these charges and preserving our reputation. I gather you have been busy since last we spoke. Lord Orchiphant's missive was positively glowing. But if you think that his endorsement is cause for me to disregard Ishgardian policies, then you are sorely mistaken. We are at war, sir, and the enemy grows bolder by the day. Why, in the short time since Inquisitor Guillaume arrived in Coerthats, countless heretics have been discovered, even amongst the elite of Ishgardian society. If Lord Orchiphant wishes to waste his days chasing after a long-lost airship, then that is his choice. But if he expects others to share in his folly, then he is truly blind to the present state of affairs. By your countenance, I take it you did not learn anything of use. Nor did I fear. It seems the whole of Coerthats is consumed by this talk of heretics in the high houses. We can only hope that my sources in Ishgard proper provide more pertinent information. I had another personal request to make of you. It concerns Lord Francel, of whom much has been whispered in recent days. I have received a report that he and 3 knights were seen heading north towards the Steel Vigil. The outpost was long ago overrun by the Dravanian horde, so I am not certain what he intends to accomplish with such a small force. Whatever his motives, I fear for his safety. Pray journey to the Steel Vigil and see if Lord Francel's party requires assistance. Who goes there? Chaddington. No, stay back. The fiend is still here. I heard the beast's cries from over yonder. Then Lord Francel is safe? Bless you, sir, bless you.
Curse those fiends. It's as though they knew we were coming. Confound it all. How are we to redeem House Halenart if we cannot even slay a single Evis? We are fortunate you came along when you did, sir. House Halenart will remember your kindness.
It was a foolish thing to do, I know, but I had hoped we might demonstrate our devotion by slaying a number of the Scalekin. Moreover, it was House Halenart that yielded the Steel Vigil to the Horde many years ago. One might say that our defeat here heralded the slow decline of our house's once great name. We have been brought even lower by these despicable accusations of heresy. And despite my best efforts, I have done naught to improve the situation. The day of my trial approaches. Soon I must accept the judgment of the Inquisitors, whatever it may be. But even should my protestations fall on deaf ears, I will proclaim my innocence to my dying breath. What did you find at the Steel Vigil? Ah, I see. A reckless plan, but at least it did not cost him and his knights their lives. I have news for you as well. A witness to the final flight of the Enterprise has been found. Alas, there is a complication. It has become common knowledge that you paid a visit to Lord Francel at Skyfire Locks not long ago. Upon learning of this, the witness became understandably reticent to make your acquaintance, for fear of being seen in the company of a man who might later be declared a heretic. A not unreasonable fear, given the zeal with which Inquisitor Guillaume has conducted his investigations. In any case, if we wish to obtain his testimony, we must first clear Lord Francel's name, and, by association, yours. As I see it, the key to proving Lord Francel's innocence is discrediting the evidence against him. I speak of the Draconian rosary found in the chest you yourself recovered. If you would, please tell me of the incident in question. So it was found in a locked chest labeled as the property of Lord Francel. If the rosary was not his, then someone else with access must have planted it. Here is what you must do: return to Skyfire Locks and speak with Rick Eamon. He works closely with the porters who ferry goods across Coerthats, so he may have some inkling of who could be responsible. Someone tampering with shipments. Fury strike me down, if all them rosaries found in our people's possessions were planted. Hey now, don't you give me that look, lad. I'm a House Halenart man through and through. This heresy nonsense is bad for me and my family too. I ain't sayin' the porters what were bringin' the shipment did it, though. I know most of them what work the trade routes, and I've never had cause to question their faith. But if it wasn't them neither, then your guess is as good as mine. After all, most every shipment is thoroughly inspected before it. Could it be even the fellas what were responsible for the inspections? Ha! Ishgardian knights and inquisitors, the lot of them. As if they'd ever turn their cloaks. Reckon that means the porters are your most likely suspects. Hate to think it, but maybe you should question them. There's a crew comin' to Camp Dragonhead from White Brim Front this morn. You might consider having a word with them. Beg your pardon? You suspect that we porters have been planting Draconian rosaries in House Halenart shipments? What nerve! If you truly believe such nonsense, search our parcels and see what you find. Are we finished? If so, I would appreciate an apology. But that's impossible. Once the knight at White Brim Front concluded her inspection, I loaded the parcels into the wagon myself. And if I had been the culprit, I would have never allowed you to search my shipments. Say what you will to Lord Orchiphant, I will not be held accountable for this. Did something happen outside? I thought I heard shouting. Ah, but more importantly, what did Rick Eamon have to say? More draconian rosaries? In every single parcel bound for Skyfire locks? That beggars belief. Even the Inquisitors must acknowledge that this is no more than a crass attempt to sully House Halenard's reputation. Whoever is responsible has overplayed his hand. And praise Halone that he did. Lord Francel's trial is upon us, and we must act now if we are to clear his name. From the very first, I knew it could not be that so many members of House Halenard were heretics. At last, we can give the lie to these poisonous allegations, and put an end to this travesty. I will need to prepare a formal statement regarding these developments for the Holy See. In the meantime, I would have you bear my words to Inquisitor Brigitte. Tell her that House Fordums asks, nay, demands that Lord Francel's trial be postponed until a full investigation has been conducted.
What is it, my child? Lord Orchiphant would have the Inquisitors do what? But that is not possible. Inquisitor Guillemay presides over Lord Francel's trial at which drop even as we speak. Fear not, if Lord Francel is indeed innocent, he shall walk in Halone's halls with the fallen heroes of Ishgard.
They have taken Lord Francel to which drop? This is madness. The Inquisitor does not have sufficient grounds to subject him to that manner of trial. I will not stand idly by and allow an innocent man to die. Chaddington, I would dispatch you and one of my knights to which drop to forestall the proceedings until such time as I am able to join you and petition Inquisitor Guillaume in person. I will endeavor not to keep you waiting too long. Do whatever you must to keep Lord Francel alive. Hail, Chaddington. As you can see, Lord Francel yet lives. We must try to reason with the Inquisitor, but if his guards judge us a threat, we must also be prepared to defend ourselves. Jocelyn Charlemagne Francel de Halenard, you stand accused of heresy against the Holy See of Ishgard. Is there aught you wish to say in your defense? Hear me, brothers, these charges are false. The men and women of my line have ever opposed the Dravanians, and I am no different. Since the very birth of our nation, we have gladly shed blood in service to the Holy See. Condemn me and you will strike a blow for the enemies of Ishgard. It is for Halone to judge if you speak the truth. Prove your innocence in the eyes of gods and men. Leap from the cliff and entrust your fate to the Fury. The righteous shall take their place in Halone's halls, while the wicked shall reveal their Drachen forms and be put to the sword. In the name of House Fordums, I beseech you, stay your hand. Inquisitor, we are come on behalf of Lord Orchiphant. My lord has uncovered evidence which suggests that the charges against Lord Francel are without merit. We humbly request that these proceedings be suspended until such time as a full re-examination of the facts has been conducted. Lord Orchiphant has allowed his personal relationship with the accused to cloud his judgment. That he should harbor private doubts, I might have allowed, but that he would dare interfere in legal proceedings sanctioned by the Holy See, I cannot. To defy the will of an inquisitor is to commit heresy, a crime for which there is but one punishment. We must hold them until Lord Orchiphant arrives, Chaddington. And remember, no harm can come to the Inquisitor. It is not our intention to defy the will of the Archbishop. But this trial, like many others, I fear, has been orchestrated by enemies of House Halenard. They have used you and your fellows to sow discord, Inquisitor, to set brother against brother, that we may tear ourselves apart. The fevered imaginings of a desperate man. What proof have you of this? By the Fury, a Draconian rosary. Then the knight who refused to yield, it was he who summoned the wyvern. A heretic in the ranks of the Temple Knights. This has grave implications. Your claims would appear to have merit, Lord Orchiphant. I shall withdraw my charges against Lord Francel, pending further investigation. I trust you have not lost sight of that which first brought you to Coerthats, Chaddington. Pray locate your errant airship, and use it. Lord Orchiphant, I have not the words to express my gratitude. But why would you risk your reputation to save mine? Because I know you, boy. You're too loyal to betray Ishgard, and too devout to question your sentence. Had we been any slower, you'd have jumped of your own free will. I would have done whatever it took to redeem House Halenard. Praise Halone, it did not come to that. But it profits us little to dwell on what might have been. Let us quit this place, Chaddington. Pray visit me at Camp Dragonhead once you have recuperated. You look well, Chaddington. May I say what a pleasure it was to fight alongside such a fearless and skillful warrior. Were it not for you, Lord Francel would surely have died defending the honor of his house, and I might well have perished at the hands of a heretic and his wyvern. House Fordumps and House Halenard shall never forget your service. Now, let us return to the matter of your missing enterprise. The man with knowledge of the enterprise awaits you outside. I pray his information proves useful to you. How quickly the commoners' opinions change. They say Lord Francel is innocent now, but just a few days prior. Anyway, you were inquiring as to the whereabouts of an airship last seen in Coerthats several days before the calamity, yes? Well, it so happens that I was monitoring the night sky at the observatorium during that period. I recall that a small vessel came from the direction of Gridania and landed near the Stone Vigil, in the far northwest. The garrison almost certainly seized the vessel and brought it within their walls. If so, then you would need an army of knights to have any hope of securing it. Though Lord Orchiphant is, from all indications, quite fond of you, so mayhap he can lend you a few. In any case, I have done my part. I shall pray for your success, friend. Oh, so you've at last located the Enterprise. I believe congratulations are in order. The Stone Vigil? Ah, perhaps I spoke too soon. The outpost has been held by the dragons for years, and all access is restricted by decree of House Durandare. I will write a letter to Lord Drillamont of Whitebrim Front and request that he grant you permission to enter. That said, I fear my influence alone will not suffice, so I suggest that you request Lord Francel do the same. Now that your business in Camp Dragonhead is concluded, I suspect we may not meet again for some time. I wish you well in your journeys, Chaddington. May Halone guide you. Wonderful to see you again, Chaddington. If there is anything I can do to repay you, name it. So the airship you seek is likely inside the Stone Vigil. It shames me to say that it too was once an outpost held by House Halenard. In the chaos that followed the calamity, the Dravanian horde caught us unawares. The fiends have held the outpost ever since. As we lack the strength of arms to retake the stone vigil, House Durandare instead has been charged with the duty. Given that, I doubt that my words will carry much weight with Lord Drillamont. Nevertheless, I will write you your letter. Before you depart, a word of caution: the cravens who attempted to destroy House Halenart have yet to be unmasked. Though their plans were foiled, they doubtless still harbor great hatred towards us, and towards you now as well. You desire an audience with Lord Drillamont, do you? Ha! I desire a night in a warm bed with my wife, but wishing won't make it so. What do we have here? Letters from Lords Orchifant and Francel, is it? A likely, oh, you're serious. What to do, what to do? Your timing could not have been worse, traveler. Lord Drillamont's attentions are focused solely on the stone vigil at present. In any case, it is not my responsibility to escort visitors. Take your letters and show them to Sir Albois. Yes, Sir Albois can surely accommodate you. Seek her in the storeroom on the opposite side of the yard.
Sir Brunadier bade you speak with me, did he? I know not why he presumed I would be in a better position to help, but I assure you that he is mistaken. Lord Drillamont hasn't the time to spend speaking with low-ranking knights such as I. However, he always has a moment to spare for head chirurgeon Osti. Why not visit the infirmary upstairs and show your letters to him?
Are you here to visit a patient, sir? What's this? Letters of introduction from House Fordhamps and Halenart. With documents such as these, you needn't seek an escort. Pray proceed to the barracks and speak with Sir Gaudernu. He should know Lord Drillamont's current whereabouts. What reason have you for barging into? Oh, I see. Well, you are in luck. Lord Drillamont is just up these stairs. Letters or no, though, I would not expect much. House Durandare as a whole does not hold adventurers in high regard. You had best state your intentions quickly and succinctly. Show proper respect, and it shall be returned in kind. Sir Gaudernu permitted your passage? Very well. Speak. You wish to brave a ruined outpost filled with scalekin to secure an airship that may or may not be there. Are you the avatar of the Fury herself? We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, Lord Drillamont. You know our name, and you know our deeds. We are come to Kourthats to slay Garuda, Lady of the Vortex. To that end, we seek the Enterprise, the airship of Master Sidnan Garlund, who stands before you now. Master Garlund, you're alive? But that's impossible. Indeed it is, my lord. Do not be deceived by their honeyed words. These foreigners are not to be trusted. At this critical moment in Ishgardian history, as House Durandare marshals its forces to retake the Stone Vigil, who should appear in white brim front but three mysterious strangers. Sid Garlund, missing and presumed dead since before the calamity, and two Scions of the Seventh Dawn, a defunct band of misfits recently exterminated by the Empire. The lesser houses may have been duped by these grandiose lies, but I should hope that House Durandare would have greater sense. I know not why these three seek the Stone Vigil, but I know that we cannot permit them to pass. Thank you for your counsel, Inquisitor. For a moment, I nearly believed this mummer's farce. You three will not enter the outpost until we have reclaimed it, and until you declare your true intentions as well. It could be moons before House Durandare purges the dragons from the Stone Vigil. We cannot afford to wait that long. Sid, Chaddington, we must do whatever it takes to earn Lord Drillamont's trust. Understood. You the lad responsible for that commotion upstairs? Aye, word travels fast in White Brim front. I gather you still wish to change Lord Drillamon's mind? If there's one thing I've learned about the man in my time here, it's that he listens to and respects the opinions of those under his command. Win over the barracks, and he's sure to take notice. How, you ask? That's easy, serve the poor souls decent fare for a change. The last few supply shipments contained no meat whatsoever, and the knights are rightfully beginning to complain. I'm thinking we could prepare them steaks using mud puppy tail meat. 'Twouldn't be a quality meal, 'tis true, but it'd be a damn sight better than nothing. If you've a mind to lend a hand, why not await a lurking mud puppy in Danafin Pass? And take this bottle of vinegar. Locals say it weakens mud puppies by clogging their mucus glands, drying their skin. It didn't work, did it? I thought it was an idiotic idea. Oh dear, remind me to never wander near mud puppy spawning grounds without a bottle of vinegar. Anyroad, this should only take a moment. I'll just need to do this, and voila. Never seen a man cook steaks that fast, have you? Take these 3 and distribute them to the hungry knights. Here and up above. You there, lad? Don't think I didn't see you and the cook conspiring together. Let me make myself perfectly clear, if you wish to buy my trust with a steak, it would be my pleasure to oblige you. Mwahaha. Yes, yes. I feel invigorated, refreshed, as if I have the strength of 10 men, and their wits besides. I should have no trouble concocting a new reason to refrain from sentry duty.
We ought at least receive a hearty meal before we march off to die in this God's forsaken waste. Is that a fresh cooked steak? Hallone's blessings be upon you, my friend. Mud puppy meat or no, it's the most delicious food I've had in a fortnight.
Ever must we train to maintain our skill at arms, yet never are we to receive proper sustenance. You are a godsend, my friend. Too few appreciate that House Durandare must do more than its fair share for the sake of Ishgard. It feels wonderful to see everyone in such high spirits. Amazing what good food can do for morale, eh? But I've forgotten about the hard-working chirurgeons at the infirmary, so rarely do they take their meals here in the hall. Mind taking this steak to Senator? She's doubtless so preoccupied with the health of her patients that she's neglected to attend to her own.
Beg your pardon, sir, but I am busy attending to this man. I will be with you in a moment. Is that? Come to think of it, it has been quite a while since I last ate. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to have a nibble. Oh my, this is fantastic. Thank you so much. I'll eat the rest right away.
Might I have a word with you, Chaddington? It concerns the chirurgeons. After speaking with them earlier, I learned that they lack sufficient alembics for their needs, you see. So I used some of their broken equipment to craft a more advanced alembic, both as a gesture of goodwill, and as a means to help me recover my memories, since working with my hands kindles familiar feelings. All I require to complete the device are the cores of 3 ice sprites. Though commonly used to reduce the temperatures of alchemical mixtures, there is a way to alter their properties so that they draw the cold within rather than radiate it without. It must sound ridiculous to you, impossible, even. Yet somehow I know it will work. Have you obtained the cores? If so, please show them to me.
What an amazing device. But, is it truly an alembic, sir? I've never seen its like before.
I too am unsure what to make of this machine. While certainly impressive, I've no idea how to make use of it.
Nevertheless, if it is as effective as he claims, it will be a great boon to the infirmary. Think of the medicines we could create, the lives we could save.
Even so, I wonder where the kindly stranger, bearer of gifts wondrous and strange, for his generosity comes at cost. Their earnest efforts are but a means to an as yet unknown end. Moreover, you should be wary of associating with individuals who have interfered with the questioning of a suspected heretic. They did what? Bless you, Inquisitor, for coming along when you did. We almost succumbed to the temptation proffered by these unbelievers. Why does that man detest us so? Is it all because we interrupted Lord Francel's trial? Whatever his reasons, he clearly means to oppose us at every turn. Before we can persuade Lord Drillamont to help us, it seems we must convince Inquisitor Guillaume that we are not his enemy. But just how might we go about doing that? We know little and less about the good Inquisitor, despite him being such a prominent figure in Coerthats. Perhaps we should learn more by speaking with the people of Whitebrim Front. Share your findings with Alphinaud in the square. I'm sure he can formulate a strategy from there. Inquisitor Guillaume. Yes, of course, I know of him. Alas, I have not seen him since the day he came to Whitebrim Front, several moons ago. My memory is somewhat muddled, but I recall that a blizzard nearly buried us in snow that day, and I had the ill fortune of being assigned to the night's watch. While the stronghold slept, we walked the walls and patrolled the exterior in a darkness black as pitch. My route took me outside the eastern gate at one point, where I caught sight of a silhouette illuminated by the light of the city. Thinking it was a wayward traveler, I cried out and gave chase, but slipped and took a terrible fall. When I woke, it was days later in this very bed, where I have lain, recuperating from my injuries ever since. I had tried to rescue him, but in the end Inquisitor Guillaume rescued me, carrying my unconscious body to the gates. I owe him my life, sir, and I hope to one day repay his kindness.
Inquisitor Guillaume? I haven't the foggiest of whom you speak, unbeliever. We have learned of your deeds at Witch Drop. I will not be party to whatever dastardly schemes you've hatched against the Inquisitor. Away with you.
Under Inquisitor Guillaume's watchful gaze, unprecedented numbers of heretics have been unmasked and brought to justice. They say he goes days without sleep, so great is his devotion. Blessed are we to have such a goodly, righteous man to protect us. The Holy See has decreed that the Inquisitors are the arbiters of Hallone's will. They are to be afforded every courtesy and the utmost respect. In case you have yet to notice, my attire is ill-suited to this climate. I realized it soon after our arrival, but paid it no mind as I had hoped we might find the Enterprise far faster. Instead, we've wasted far too much time meddling in local affairs. Never mind. Our journey is almost at an end. All that remains is to deal with this irksome Inquisitor. Sid tells me you have been busy making inquiries. Yes. It should come as no surprise that he is held in high regard. Even so, I am beginning to suspect he has other reasons for hindering us now. Let us more closely review the testimonials you obtained, Chaddington. Mayhap they will provide insight into Inquisitor Guillaume's motivations. Something troubles me about that wounded knight's account. He claims he fell chasing a figure in the darkness that he saw outside the eastern gate, yes. But the main road leads to the southwestern gate. Since we've arrived in Whitebrim Front, I've seen no travelers arrive by the eastern gate. Moreover, he said he glimpsed a silhouette illuminated by the light of the city, which would imply that the Inquisitor came from north of the eastern gate, not south. But it cannot be so, that way lies naught but a deep chasm. Assuming Sir Joel is not misremembering, the Inquisitor's behavior that night makes absolutely no sense, at least to me. Mayhap retracing his steps will shed light on this mystery. You found something, didn't you? Well, don't keep me waiting in suspense. Let's see it. Given the contents of this encyclical, I believe you have just made the acquaintance of the real Inquisitor Guillaume. Newly come to Corvets and murdered on the day of his arrival. Yes, it would have been a simple thing to assume his identity, for even if he were to behave oddly, who would dare question the wisdom of a papal appointment? Still, while this is incontrovertible proof that the Inquisitor is an impostor, we have yet to discern his true identity, or why he has decided to oppose us. We must proceed quickly, Chaddington, before he learns that his deception has been discovered. Since Lord Drillamont has already been turned against us, I fear that this encyclical alone will not serve to convince him of our claims. But what might persuade a man so quick to disregard the endorsements of two high houses? The cook did say that the Lord listens to and respects the opinions of his knights. If a certain knight were to provide testimony that supports our claim. Yes, mayhap that is the only way left to us. Confront Sir Joel Lot with the evidence you discovered and see if it helps him to recall the truth of that night. As a man of faith, he may find it difficult to cope with such a horrifying revelation. Nevertheless, we must do everything within our power to secure the enterprise. Oh, you have returned. Is there something else you wanted to ask? The Inquisitor is an impostor? Don't be preposterous, that could not possibly be true. He is a paragon of virtue, a dedicated servant of the Fury. You would have me believe that is all a lie? If you are so certain that your ludicrous story is true, then go and speak with Ser Prunella. She was at the Eastern Gate that night, and she helped the Inquisitor carry me here. But I will never speak against the man who saved my life.
You. I do not believe I know you, sir. Pray move along and trouble me no more. Are you in the habit of handing bloody documents to strangers? Why would you show me such a dreadful thing? I know not of it, not at all. You know, don't you? Fury take me, I prayed this day would come. When Sir Joel Lot gave chase, I followed close behind. He didn't fall, one of those Dravanian abominations lashed out at him, nearly killed him right then and there. I drew my sword and rushed to his side, straining to see the enemy. But what came from the dark was not a beast, but a voice. He knew things about me, about my family. Secrets I had never told another. He said that if I kept his confidence, Sir Joel Lot and I would be spared. But, if I defied him, everyone I loved would suffer unimaginable horrors before they died. When at last I agreed to his terms, the man came forward. His robes marked him as an inquisitor, but I knew him to be false. Together, we carried Sir Joel Lot to the infirmary, and on his first night in White Brim Front, Inquisitor Guillaume was heralded as a hero. Soon after came the accusations, countless men and women of good moral standing, seized whilst in possession of draconian rosaries. As I feared, he was condemning the innocent to death. I wanted to confess to Lord Drillamont, wanted to put an end to the madness, but then I would remember the Inquisitor's threats. And so I did nothing, until Lord Francel was accused. Some time ago, I followed the Inquisitor and found that he kept draconian rosaries in a chest hidden southeast of White Brim Front. So, I took several from his chest and planted them in shipments bound for Skyfire Locks. As I hoped, they were discovered and considered evidence of a conspiracy against House Halenart, thus exonerating Lord Francel and casting doubt on the other recent trials. And that is the entire truth, I swear. Halone forgive me for not acting sooner.
Why do you persist in this folly? I will not grant you 3 access to the stone vigil. Do not make me repeat myself. There had better be a very good explanation for why you were carrying these rosaries. And where did you find this papal encyclical? Fury take me, the Inquisitor is a heretic. Never before have I heard such an unbelievable tale, but this evidence and your testimony could have no other explanation. I have misjudged you and your friends, Chaddington, and for that I deeply apologize. I will permit you to enter the outpost, but first, I must needs beg your assistance. Help me and my knights bring this infernal impostor to justice. That thrice damned heretic has murdered countless innocents, and made a mockery of our laws. Hells take him and his Dravanian allies. I am told he makes for Snowcloak even now, intending to pass judgment upon yet another poor soul whom he has branded heretic. If we hurry, there may still be time to prevent further tragedy. Lend me your strength, Chaddington. Together, let us put an end to this impostor's heresy once and for all. Good to have you with us, sir. When Lord Drillamont arrives, we are to confront the Inquisitor. If he refuses to go quietly, we will need to use force. Are you prepared for that eventuality? You needn't tremble so, my child. The righteous shall enjoy everlasting peace in Halone's halls. Only the wicked.
But why? Why must I die? By all that is holy, I swear to you that I have never questioned the teachings of Halone.
Inquisitor, release the maid and come with us. My Lord Drillamont, what is the meaning of this interruption? You are aware that I am at present conducting an interrogation, are you not? Silence, villain. I name thee heretic, murderer of Inquisitor Guillaume and countless innocents. You are a traitor to Ishgard, to your own kith and kin. Your sins are beyond measure, beyond redemption. Ah, grave allegations indeed. But you will find your logic is flawed. How can I betray that which I owe no allegiance? No, Lord Drillamont, my conscience is quite clear, I assure you. I wonder, can you say the same? You whose hands are black with the blood of those whose only sin was to question your nation's crazed crusade. You speak to me of Ishgardian innocence. Ha! All are complicit in these crimes, for all live their lives by the Archbishop's lies. But I know you will not hear me, deafened by dogma as you are. If you desire retribution, Lord Drillamont, then come, let us see how Ishgardian steel fares against Dravanian fang and claw. My glamours, dispelled. Your plans lie in ruin, heretic. Choose your words wisely, for they will be your last. Ha ha. You may not recall the many Ishgardians I have sentenced, but the families of the dead will never forget. Blood has been repaid with blood, and for that I am content. My only regret is that you yet live. But your end is nigh, foreigner. The dragons within the stone vigil will rend you asunder. And when you are dead, White Brim Front shall fall. Defiant to the last. Leave the body for the crows, his ilk deserves naught better. Chaddington, I must apologize for involving you in this sordid business. You should never have been asked to intervene in Ishgardian affairs of state. Rest assured, I have not forgotten the matter which first brought you into our midst. It is past time that you were reunited with your heirship. But this is not the place to discuss such matters. Pray visit me at White Brim Front, and bring your associates. Where have you been, Chaddington? The false inquisitor has been slain, has he? Yes, well, his was a tale always like to end in bloodshed. Though you have overcome the latest in a long line of unfortunate impediments, I would ask you not to revel in your victory just yet. We can celebrate once we have secured the enterprise.